So do these big economic engines in the world have only one place to go, and that is down?
I think it's very clear that we're in the midst of a major policy change all over the world, which will set the stage for a growth slowdown.
That is going to be immune or at least resistance to the slowdown?
Well, the developing countries still have good growth rates because they're still enjoying high commodity prices. And these interest rate increases have not yet generated major financial shocks.
And David Hale, what's your assessment of the current economic picture and how worried we should be?
There has not been a decline in America's national house price index since 1933. But we could attempt, through negotiation, to try and help people facing big mortgage resets to cope with this challenge, to get time, to get discretion, to avoid having to default and go through foreclosure.
Mr. David Hale. My assignment today is to give you a global economic overview. Developing countries now dominate in the global accumulation of foreign exchange reserves. This greatly lessens the risk of financial crisis. It gives these countries tremendous financial autonomy. It means if America did have a severe recession, if this country did have a very severe slump, these countries could now stimulate their economies and try and operate independently of the U.S. business cycle. This is a very, very important turning point in global economic history. It creates the potential for a market is actually a way that you can manage risk more effectively. There are people who speculate, who help to manage financial risk, spread risk around. It's one of the reasons, I think, over the last 10 years, we've enjoyed relative financial stability.
So let's go back and understand what's happening with the U.S. financial crisis, how it evolved, and how it will progress. At the rate of 10 or 15 billion people every year. This means they have to build New York City every 12 months to accommodate the population flows. That's why China is now the dominant consumer. Morgan Stanley advised the government that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac had bad accounting, that their balance sheet was overstating their real capital position. And in fact, they didn't have as much capital as they claimed. Secondly, there was a great danger that foreign central banks might sell Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac securities because of very valuable assets. You can't sell them in 72 hours. And when Lehman, or rather when AIG had to find $20 billion more in collateral to cover their positions. A universal phenomenon. Problem is, we don't know the final magnitude lending will be $2.2 trillion. It's a big number because the total equity capital of the U.S. banking industry is only $1.35 trillion. So a further $1 trillion to go would be basically wiping out 60 or 70% of bank equity. And there's no way the country can function if it has that kind of loss. There'll be a need for further capital injections by the government and the